Morning. As you might be able to tell, it's a very early morning video for me this morning. It's currently 20 to 6. I'm going to do you a series of videos taking you through what's become my morning routine. I've been interested in the Wim Hof cold water phenomenon that's going on. I'm lucky enough to have a sort of natural pond just around the corner on the farm, so every morning for the last 6 weeks I've been sort of heading down there and doing the cold water immersion. It's very much about looking to see what it's all about for me, if I'm brutally honest, and looking to see what benefits I can get. When I first started, it was very much about thinking about the physical benefits. Fundamentally, I believe that an awful lot of chronic health issues, long-term health issues, be that obesity, be that even small amounts of weight gain that we can't get rid of, through to chronic pain. I myself have got a sort of chronic hip injury I manage, have an element of inflammation that is part of what they're all about. And so we know that for physical injuries, for ice, either ice is a tremendous treatment to reduce swelling. So part of my brain was thinking, well, let's have a look at what that can do for the global body and how much we can use sort of cold water immersion to treat that. Secondly, I obviously sort of realised that there is a benefit to the vascular system. I haven't read enough on that yet. I'm definitely not here doing a video for you saying that I am an expert on that, but I do think that an increase to our vascular system, be that through cardiovascular training, with conventional aerobic training, interval training, anything like that, is a good thing. And so if we can develop that with other ways, and cold water immersion is one way of doing that, then that can't be a bad thing. And then the final part about it is to just understand what it's like as a sort of discipline. There is a breathing practice that goes with the Wim Hof method. Again, haven't yet got to that. It's now sort of just coming up to 5:45. I'm going to head round there. I'll do some videos as we go through. From a safety point of view, there's obviously things to consider, which I'll talk as I go round. But hopefully it's interesting. And if you've got any questions, of course, do leave them in the sort of chat below on the blog. So I'm down at the pond now, and unfortunately I don't think I'm going to have great light for this, but one of the things that I have gained from this, and hopefully will come through, is actually the peacefulness and the beauty of being in nature, in the as dawn is breaking or as the sun is coming up, nobody else around, just me and my thoughts. I get to consider my thoughts and other pieces which I'll expand on a little bit later. But I'm getting a real boost, a real energy lift from just being out and about in such a peaceful, beautiful setting first thing in the morning. This is also the most difficult part of my new routine, because I've now got to get cold. I've now got to get changed, and again, interestingly, it's not getting in the water that's the hard bit. It's actually getting out of my clothes, into my swimmers, and actually walking around and starting to get in. Okay, so here we go. I have been in already, and don't normally go in and come out. If I'm in. But because the lake is frozen, or the pond is frozen today, I've had to go in and break it up before I can come in holding my phone. A little bit worried, if I'm honest, about holding my phone over water. So let's hope that the selfie stick works. The cold is interesting. Your body definitely adapts to it. When I first started doing this, it absolutely took my breath away, and I really struggled to breathe. But as you'll see in a second, as I come into the sort of immersion part, so I get to a point, again, from a safety point of view, this lake is actually, or the pond is only down to my sort of hips. And as I said, just very gently for me, nice and easy, down we go. Don't forget to start the timer, because I'm not doing this for any longer than I need to. There we go. In. Yes, breath becomes a bit challenging all the way down. Here we go. Shoulders in. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's going to sound crazy, but I do smile. because by now, 6 weeks in, kind of enjoying this. This is kind of becoming my happy place, and I'll expand a little bit on that a little bit later on, but going to switch it over now. You don't want to look at me whilst I'm doing this and whilst I'm explaining the bits and pieces, so swap it over to a different view so you can see the beauty of the nature around me. Hands above the water. My hands and feet do get very, very cold, so for me, I do sort of keep those out. Certainly I can't keep my feet out obviously, but I do keep my hands out. You might have to forgive me as well if I don't make too much sense while I'm doing this, because it is quite cold. But I watched the Wim Hof series, Freeze Your Fear, and one of the things I took out of that was the phrase that your body knows what it's doing. Your body knows what's happening to it, and I would 100% back that up. This has got more, I have managed to adapt to this, and this has got less sort of strenuous and less of a shock on my system the more I do it, to the point where actually now that immersion phase is quite nice. I do quite like it in a very strange sort of way. And that brings me on to the really unexpected part of this that I didn't see coming. And if I'm brutally honest, the pain side, the physical benefit side, I can feel now, 6 weeks in. I do feel I manage a hip injury on a sort of day-to-day basis, which will require surgery, but I've been advised to hold off for as long as possible. And that is better. I know doing some weights helps that. That's a difficult balance. I can't do too much, but I need to do some. But also my hip is less painful on a day-to-day basis. I will categorically say that. But the biggest benefit, and the benefit I had quickest, was in my state of mind. And I became calmer. I was more self-confident and composed and happier within my own head. I don't particularly suffer from mental health problems, I wouldn't say, but like all of us, I've got worries, I've got things I'm concerned about and I worry about, and that has definitely been helped by being in the water. And the reason for that is it's the best form of meditation I've ever found. Not only am I here out in nature, which I absolutely love, I do actually really enjoy it when it's cold, and when I have to break the ice. I think it makes it really atmospheric, and I just love being here right now. But what it also does is, this is the best form of meditation I've ever found. And meditation in itself is, I class it as thinking as one thing only, holding your thoughts on one thing. I think a purer definition is that you're focused purely on your breathing. And believe you me, certainly in the early days, when you can't think about anything other than catching your breath, that's all you're thinking about. And so these minutes that I spend in the pond first thing in the morning, I focus just on my breath, and I have gained a huge amount from that. My mindset, my mental health, my I don't like to use the word anxiety, because I don't have anxiety particularly, and I don't want to sort of belittle anybody that does, but I benefit from it. I'm more calm, I'm more at peace with myself, and that's probably one of the reasons why I'm enjoying it so much. Nobody enjoys getting into cold water, let's be honest about that, but when you're in and the benefits you get, for me, it's well worth it. It's something that I'm thoroughly enjoying right now and I'm thoroughly benefiting from. So I'm going to take the final minute of my dip, and I'm not going to say anything because I'm going to go into my breathing and make sure I get a little bit of that this morning. Okay, so coming out the pond, first job, get dry and get warm. So I'm putting the phone down, I'm going to get dry and get warm. Wow, don't I look good when I've done this? Okay, so back in the car now, gonna start things up and start the process of getting warm and head on back and get on with the rest of my day. The reason I'm doing this right now is because, again, one of the benefits I've got is really enjoy the fact I've got up, done it first thing, and I know pretty much nothing else in the rest of the day is going to be as challenging of what I've just done and just got behind me. So great way to start the day, feeling good about myself, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope it comes out well enough. If not, I might try and do one in a daytime just so people can see a little bit more. Not advocating you go and do it. I am not saying it's, you've got to take your own safety precautions. I will put a few notes up about safety as much as I did. This is an experience I'm sharing with you, not something I'm saying you go and do. You must do it on your own accord, take your own liabilities and risks, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. I'm going to go and get warm now. So have a great day, everybody, and hope you've enjoyed the video.